Welcome to today's class of the topic is half-range Fourier series. Now, up to the previous video, we discussed general construction of Fourier series in the range 0 to 2L, minus L to L, and also one problem we discussed other than 0 to 2L and minus L to L is in the form of a comma a plus 2L. For example, the interval is minus pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. We discussed some lot of problems and also some splitting function also we discussed how to deduce the required result from the after you construct the Fourier series. Today class we are going to discuss another one of the topic in Fourier series is nothing but half-range Fourier series. This half-range Fourier series is also called consider half-range Fourier sine series and also half-range Fourier cosine series. Or simply they are going to consider cosine series and sine series. Now, why they treated the series as half-range Fourier series? We already studied this part while construction of Fourier series based on the second case to construct the Fourier series. For example, same thing I'm going to repeat now in this for a few minutes. What's the definition of half-range Fourier series? Now, first I have to consider our second case for construction of Fourier series. What's my general construction of Fourier series for the second case is function f of x. Yeah, f of x is defined over the interval. F of x is defined over the interval what actually minus L to plus L. This is our second construction of general construction of Fourier series for the second case. Now I consider functions defined in the interval. What's the interval? Minus defined over the interval minus L to L. How to construct the Fourier series? Suppose function is defined in the interval minus L to L. The series is f of x is equal to a naught by 2 plus summation in ranging from 1 to infinity a n cos of n pi x by L, and also I have to take summation in ranging from 1 to infinity bn sine of n pi x by L. How to find out the values of a naught, an and bn is a naught formula is what actually 1 by L minus L to L f of x dx, and also an is nothing but 1 by L minus L to L f of x cos of n pi x by L with respect to x. And also Bn formula is 1 by L minus L to L f of x into sine of n pi x by L with respect to x or dx. This part you already know that while construction of Fourier series is in the form of second case. Now suppose the given function is defined in the interval minus L to L. In that case, I already explained whenever the interval is in the form of minus L to L, not necessary to construct the Fourier series using that. We are going to step into another part. What's another thing is I go for even case and odd case. We divided into this into two parts, right? These things you already know that. Now here the first part is f of x is an even function. F of x is an even function. Yeah. The second part is f of x is an odd function. Is an odd function. Okay. Now suppose function is an even function. We already discussed which value 0. Bn is 0. Why? Because f of x is an, what's the definite integral property? You already known that definite integral property is minus a to a f of x dx is nothing but twice of 0 to a f of x dx. Function is even function if f of x is an even function. Okay. Suppose is an odd function is 0 if f of x is an odd function. It's an odd function. Okay. Now these things you already know that with the help of that f of x is an even, therefore twice of 0 to L. F of x is an even, cosine functions are even, product of two even function, plus into plus is plus, therefore it's an even function. This can be written at twice of 0 to L. While come to Bn, f of x is an even function, sine functions are odd, plus into minus is minus, therefore this is an odd function. From the definite integral property, Bn is 0. Therefore Bn is 0. What is my Fourier series expansion after once Bn is 0? Fourier series expansion is a0 by 2 plus summation in ranging from 1 to infinity an cos of n pi x by L by L. Now what are the formulas for a0 and an is 2 by L, 0 to L, f of x dx. And then what's the formula for an is? An is actually 2 by L, 0 to L, f of x cos of n pi x by L with respect to x. Okay. This is a formula for finding an. Now, which value 0? Bn is 0. Just to explain, even though you know that, I explain once again. Then, suppose function is an odd function. From the definite integral property, a0 is 0. This is odd into even is means minus into plus is what actually minus. Therefore, is an odd function. From the definite integral property, an also 0. But product of two odd function, minus into minus is plus. Here, minus is odd function and then plus is an even. Plus is what? Even function. Okay. Now what happened is even function, only which one is written? Bn. Therefore, what is corresponding Fourier series expansion for this is actually f of x is equal to only a summation in ranging from 1 to infinity Bn sine of n pi x by L. Where? What's the formula for Bn? 2 by L, 0 to L, f of x sine of n pi x by L with respect to x. This is nothing but the construction of which one? Suppose function is an odd function. Observe carefully, beginning, what's our interval is? The beginning, the function f of x is defined over the interval what? Minus L to plus L. Suppose function is an odd function, we are making the function f of x is defined over what's the interval? 0 to L. Which value 0? Bn is 0. Similarly, suppose function is an even function also 0 to L. Function is an odd function, f of x is defined over what's the interval? 0 to L. Basically, the given interval is minus L to L. Suppose function is an even function or odd function. In both the cases, it is enough to define half of the interval 0 to L or minus L to 0. Now, once you construct half of the interval, suppose it's an even function, you expand this series is involving only cosine function. Suppose it's an odd function, define a function half of the interval 0 to L, expand this series is involving only sine functions. These two series are called half range Fourier series, because basically the given interval is in the form of minus L to L. Now we are constructing the Fourier series based on half of the given range. What is half of the given range? 0 to L. Instead of that, it's possible to take minus L to 0, but our convenient is 0 to L. We are defining, even though function is defined in minus L to L, we are constructing the Fourier series in half of the given interval. Therefore, the corresponding these two construction of Fourier series for f of x for this and this are called half range Fourier series. And also observe here, this half range Fourier series, suppose you expand that, only is involving what type of function? Cosine function. Therefore, this half range series is also called, this half range Fourier series is also called half range cosine series. Suppose you expand this Fourier series is involving only sine functions. Therefore, this half range series is also called half range sine series, or simply they consider as sine series, simply they consider this is cosine series. They're going to ask the question, construct half range Fourier cosine series or maybe half range sine series. Instead of that, simply they're going to ask the question, construct sine series and cosine series. I think it's clear why you treated is half, because basically our interval is minus L to L. Once you suppose function is an even function or odd function, instead of minus L to L, we are going to construct our series in the half of the given interval or half of the range. The corresponding what you construct the series are called half range Fourier series. Particularly, you go for this series. Is suppose expand the series half range Fourier series is involving only cosine function. This series is also called half range Fourier cosine series. This series is called half range Fourier sine series. Simply they consider as cosine series. This series is called as sine series. I think it's clear how we get definition of half range sine and cosine series. Now, when you are talking about these two comes, basically the given interval is defined in the interval what actually minus L to plus L. Now, suppose function is an even function, we get a cosine series. Suppose function is odd function, we get sine series. Now, when you are talking about odd function, always that suppose you plot a graph for even function, always is symmetric above the x-axis. Like that, suppose we are consider is an odd function, you plot any odd function, always is symmetric about the origin. This is look like that. It's a mirror image. We get a mirror image at the origin. Here we get a mirror image at the y-axis. Okay. This is a way to know the formula for half range Fourier sine and cosine series. What you discuss in case 2 for construction of general construction of Fourier series. Based on that, what I can say, even in our case, is nothing but my half range Fourier cosine series and half range Fourier sine series. One point we have to remember, whenever they're going to ask the question in the problem, construct or find or expand half range Fourier sine or cosine series, keep in mind our interval is general interval is 0 to L. Upper limit of the given interval is itself is nothing but the value of L. Don't confuse with second case of the general construction of Fourier series. Now here, why they consider that? Because instead of taking minus L to L, it is enough to go for these two methods. This is easy to construct. That's why we consider odd case, even case where in the general construction of Fourier series. Why they suppose they're going to mention in the problem construct or expand half range Fourier series means keep in mind, remember the thing is what is our general interval is 0 to L. Upper limit of the given interval itself is a value of L. Because most of the students they're going to take half of 0 to L. It's not correct. Once you mention the problem half range means they already they taken the given function in the half of the interval. That's all. It's already given. Not necessary to take again half of that. Don't confuse with general construction of Fourier series to half range. Half range means they consider already function in the half of the interval. Then directly we have to take the value of L is nothing but upper limit of the given interval. Now before moving to the problem, again I am going to repeat. Whenever talking about half range means immediately in our mind comes what's our general interval is 0 to L. Upper limit of the given interval of value is nothing but itself is the value of L. This is a way to consider half range Fourier sine series and cosine series. Why you treated sine series is expand this having only a sine function. Similarly, this is having only a cosine function. They are going to ask find a sine series and cosine series. In such cases, we are going to use these two formula carefully and to find out the value of a construction of sine series and also cosine series. Keep in mind whenever talking about sine series or cosine series or half range series, our general interval is 0 to L. Now see, now I'm going to take a little bit zoom out. Now I'm going to showing the entire thing what I explained half range in one screen. Now observe carefully. This is a thing, this is a way to construct using formula to construct half range Fourier sine and cosine series. Now we are going to discuss a few problems for today class based on half range construction. Okay. First problem. Yeah. I'm going to take first problem, problems. Problems. This is very simple. You already know that how to construct the Fourier series similarly. First problem. Find the half range cosine series for the function f of x equals x minus 1 whole square in the interval 0 less than x less than 1. Hence, show that first one, pi square by 6 equals 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square plus etc. Second one, pi square by 8 equals 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 5 square, etc. Yeah. Now deduce part, you already know that general construction of Fourier series. Similar way, first you construct the half-range Fourier cosine series. Now compared to general problem, this is construction of half-range series is very easy. Solution. Now while doing the solution, first you write down what's a given function as usual. What is my given function? F of x is equal to x minus 1 whole square. What is my interval? 0 to 1. Here we don't have any cases. They given already. I want to construct a cosine series means what's the formula? F of x is equal to a naught by 2 summation n ranging from 1 to infinity a n cos of n pi x by L. That is the formula for even case formula. A naught and a n 2 by L 0 to L f of x dx and a n is 2 by L 0 to L f of x cos of n pi x by L. I told number of times just few minutes before, whenever I want to construct a half range, keep in mind what is my general interval is 0 to L. You equate to the 0 to L to the given interval 0 to 1. That implies what's the value of L here? The value of L is nothing but upper limit L is equal to 1. L is equal to 1. That implies n pi x by L is nothing but n pi x because the value of L is equal to 1. Now I think it's clear. Don't confuse with general to this. Keep in mind when you're talking about half range, what is my general interval is 0 to L. Now I have to write what is a Fourier series, half range Fourier cosine series for the function over the interval 0, 1. First you write down the formula. Half range cosine series for f of x over what's the interval 0, 1 is f of x equals a naught by 2 plus summation in ranging from 1 to infinity, in ranging from what? 1 to infinity, in ranging from 1 to infinity a n cos of n pi x because L is equal to 1. Where what is my a naught formula? A naught is nothing but 2 by L. What is L is 1. 0 to 1 f of x dx. What is my an formula? Is 2 by L 1 0 to 1 f of x cos of n pi x with respect to x. Okay. Now, using the function as usual, I have to find out a naught and an. 2 into 0 to 1 x minus 1 whole square with respect to x. The most of the students, they're doing mistake here. Simply they're going to expand a minus b whole square is a square minus 2ab plus b square. Don't do that. Already told, whenever having a linear factor, you evaluate directly. Why? Because x minus 1, one of the term is nothing but upper limit of the given interval. Once you evaluate directly using linear form of integration, once you apply the upper limit, immediately 1 minus 1 what happen is 0. Keep in mind, whenever having repeated linear factor or repeated linear factor, don't expand. X minus 1, yeah, this is a formula, you know that already, where you already know that in Pew level, and also already explained where I already explained now. This one I explained where in the construction of general construction of Fourier series. Whenever having a repeated linear factor, in that case using the formula ax plus or minus b to the power of n with respect to x is nothing but ax plus or minus b to the power of n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 into the quotient of x. What's the quotient of x is a. Now from this, why I am doing like that instead of expand that? Because one of the term is out of two terms, one of the term is upper limit. Once you apply the limit, we get 0. Then easily I have to simplify. Therefore, what is the integration of x minus 1 whole square is x minus 1 whole cube divided by 3 into the quotient of x. What's the quotient of x is 1, 0 to 1. Before going to apply the limit, keep the constant 2 by 3, apply the upper limit. Once you apply the upper limit, 1 minus 1. What is 1 minus 1? Is 0. 0 cube is 0 only. Minus lower limit, x is 0. X is 0, what's the remaining? Yeah, most of the students doing mistake. X is 0, 0. No, x is 0, 0 minus 1. 0 minus 1 whole cube. Please try to understand. Once x minus 1 whole cube, once you put x is equal to 1, what happened? 1 minus 1 whole cube is 0. When this is for x is equal to 1. Suppose put x is equal to 0, what happens? 0 minus 1 whole cube. Okay, means minus 1 whole cube. Okay, now I have to simplify. Minus 1 whole cube is minus into minus plus, what we get? 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is nothing but the value of a naught. And next I have to find out an. While finding a an also, don't expand x minus 1 whole square. Leave it as itself. Differentiation also be easy while applying UV rule or Bernoulli's rule. an equals twice of 0 to 1 x minus 1 whole square cos of n pi x with respect to x. Now is a product of two functions, therefore I go for UV rule. While taking UV rule, this is my u, this is my v. Now why I am going to consider this as u? Because after the second derivative, x minus 1 whole square is 0. No need I to go for after the second derivative. But cosine functions is not equal to 0 up to till nth derivative. Therefore from the UV rule, this can be written as x minus 1 whole square into what is integration of cos sine of n pi x divided by quotient of x. What's quotient of x is n pi minus n pi minus what is differentiation of x minus 1 whole square? Differentiation of x minus 1 whole square is 2 into x minus 1. First you find out derivative of the power into derivative of x minus 1 with respect to x is 1. Again I have to integrate. What's the integration of sine is minus cos of n pi x divided by, again we get n pi, we get n square pi square plus minus plus. What is derivative of this? 2 into derivative of x with respect to x1, this is 0. Therefore what we get? 2 into 1. Okay. Again I have to integrate. While doing integration, keep minus 1 by n square pi square as itself. Integration of cos is sine of n pi x divided by n pi. We get n cube pi cube. Now, I told number of times whenever we get derivative value constant, not necessary to move further higher term because derivative constant is 0, 0 to 1. Then I told number of times while solving a problem in a general construction of Fourier series, whenever having a product of one of the functions sine or cos, first you verify that what happened that function corresponding upper and lower limit. What is my upper limit? Is 1. Therefore, I verify sin n pi x. Sin n pi x, I have to verify for 1. X is equal to 1. X is equal to 1, what happens? Sin n pi. What is sin n pi value? 0. And next lower limit is x is 0. X is 0 means sin 0. What is my sin 0 value? 0. This shows that sin n pi x is 0 both upper and lower limit. Where you have sin n pi x, you write it that value is 0. Next I have to verify cos n pi x. Cos n pi x for x is equal to 1 cos n pi. What is cos n pi value? Minus 1 to the power of n. X is 0, cos 0. What is cos 0 is 1. Now, this shows that cosine functions are not equal to 0 for both upper and lower limit. Now I have to find out the limit value of minus into minus plus 2 by n square pi square is a constant. 2 by n square pi square is a constant. Keep it outside. Apply the upper limit. What is upper limit? 1. 1 minus 1, 0. 1 minus 1, see observe this factor. 1 minus 1 is 0, but cos n pi. What is cos n pi is minus 1 to the power of n. Even though minus 1 to the power of n multiplied with 0 is 0. Minus lower limit. While applying lower limit, most of the students are doing mistake. X is 0, 0. No, x is 0, 0 minus 1. What is 0 minus 1 is minus 1. Into cos 0. What is cos 0 is 1. Now take care for x minus 1. For x is equal to 0, what happens? 0 minus 1. 0 minus 1 is minus 1. Into cos 0 is 1. Now I have to close the bracket. What we get? Now minus into minus plus. 2 into 2, what we get actually? 4. 4 by n square pi square. Yeah, this is my an. I told number of times once we get an or bn, we have to verify for what value of n is denominator becomes 0. How to verify? I take a denominator n factor. What's a denominator n factor? Is n square equal to 0. This is 0, in which case n is 0, but our summation is start from what actually? 1 to infinity. Therefore, except 0, none of the case don't get it infinity for 1 to infinity. Therefore, confidently say that this is for, we get an value, what you written on the board, you get finite value for 1 to infinity. Because any one of the value we get 0, I have to find out independently, separately. I explained already one problem, x cos x. Okay, in the interval minus pi to pi. Now, first you pick the denominator n factor, equate that, and then verify that whether that values belongs or not in the summation. Is not there, confidently write is true for n is equal to 1 to 3. Keep in mind we are expecting all n value 1 to infinity is a finite value. We are not expecting anywhere infinite. Suppose we get infinite value, we find out that value independently or separately from the original formula for n or bn. And then we have to construct the Fourier series. What is my Fourier series expansion is f of x is equal to, what is my Fourier series expansion is f of x is equal to a naught by 2. What is my a naught? 2 by 3. What is a naught by 2 is 2 cancel 1 by 3 plus summation n ranging from 1 to infinity, right? 1 to infinity. While writing this, I told number of times better to keep the constant outside. Yeah. If you suppose you confuse, I'm going to remove that thing. Again, I'm going to write. You have to keep the constant outside. What's the constant here? Constant is 4 divided by pi square of summation n ranging from 1 to infinity 1 by n square cos of n pi x. Actually, this is what actually is the required half range cosine series for the given function over what's the interval 0 comma 1. Yeah, 0 comma 1. Okay. No, but it's not only we have to construct the series, I want to deduce. You know how to do the deduce part for construction of Fourier series. Similarly, here also we have to apply same method. Now, first I want to construct the first one. The first series is, for our convenient, I'm going to write first series I want to deduce pi square by 6 is equal to 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 4 square, etc. I want to deduce this. How to deduce? Now, here what is my function? My function is x minus 1 whole square over what's the interval 0 comma 1. Now, this is our Fourier series expansion, okay? Now, this is my Fourier series expansion. Suppose you expand this series. What happened? Don't worry about 4 by pi square anything. Just observe this expand 1 by 1 square cos x, okay? 1 by, put n is equal to 1, put n is equal to 2, put n is equal to 3 like that, 2, 3 like that. We get 1 by 1 square, 1 by 2 square, but compare that here we don't have cos x, cos 2x, cos 3x. What we are going to do, I have to convert cos 2x, cos 3x or cos x must be equal to 1. Means I have to convert this cos nx must be equal to 1. For what value of x tends to cos nx, cos n pi x must be equal to 1. Now we can't choose opposite manner any value. I have to choose a value that must be in the range. What is my range? 0 to 1. Now just put x is 0. What happened? Cos x is cos 0 is 0. Cos 2 into 0. Cos 2x also 0. Cos 3x equal to 0. Cos n pi x 0 for x is equal to 0. Cos n pi x is equal to 1 for x is equal to 0. 0 is also included in our limit in the given range. Therefore, what's the value I'm going to choose? I think clear. Once you expand this series involving cos x, cos 2x, I don't want cos x, cos 2x. Only I require 1 by 1 square, 1 by 2 square, 1 by 3 square. I want to convert that. I can't convert 0. Suppose you convert 0, entire term must be 0. I have to convert 1. Therefore, what we are going to do here, put x is equal to 0 in star. We get, yeah, what we get actually, f of 0 must be equal to 1 by 3 plus 4 by pi square summation in ranging from summation n ranging from summation n ranging from 1 to infinity what actually 1 by n square, since cos of n pi of 0 is nothing but 1. Okay. Now what is my f of 0? This is my f of x. What is f of 0? Minus 1 whole square. What is minus 1 whole square is 1. If f of 0 value is equal to 1, you shifted 1 by 3 in the left hand side. What we get? 1 minus 1 by 3 equals 4 by pi square of expand this series. 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 4 square, etc. Yeah, we have to simplify further. What is 1 minus 1 by 3 is 2 by 3. Yeah, I'm going to write this is nothing but 2 by 3, right? Yeah. Now observe carefully. Now here 2 ones are 2 twos are. Take cross multiplication. What we get? Pi square by 3 into 2. What is 3 into 2 is 6. It's nothing but 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 4 square, etc. This is first result we get now. This is my first result. Okay. This is my first result. Yeah, required result. But I want to prove another one result. What is another one result I want to prove? Yeah, I'm going to write once again what we are expecting second result. This is first result over. I want to prove second result. What is my second result is pi square by 8. Pi square by 8 is equal to 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 5 square, etc. Only the odd terms I want. I don't want even terms. Therefore, here for one value of x, you can't do that. Why? Because you already put x is 0 in the variant star. X is 0, we get only 1 by n square. Now suppose I put, you can't go for half. Suppose put half, what we get actually? Cos n pi by 2. You know cos n pi by 2. Cos n pi by 2. What is cos n pi by 2 is plus or minus 1 if n is even. 0 if n is odd. Yeah. Suppose put pi by 2, suppose put x is equal to half. Odd cases are 0. But in the result, I want only odd number, 1 square, 3 square, 5 square. Therefore, cos n pi 2 0 is odd. No, there is no use to put x is equal to half. Now, suppose put x is equal to 0, I already put that, you don't get this expression. Now, I have to try for x is equal to 1. Now, I am going to put once again, put x is equal to 1 in star. You get f of 1. What is my f of 1? Equals 1 by 3 plus 4 by pi square summation n ranging from 1 to infinity 1 by n square cos n pi. What is cos n pi? Is minus 1 to the power of n. Once you put x is equal to 1, what we get? Cos n pi. What is my cos n pi? Is minus 1 to the power of n. Now, what is f of 1? F of x is equal to, what is my f of x is x minus 1 whole square. What is my f of x is equal to x minus 1 whole square in the range 0 to 1. What is f of 1 is nothing but 0. Therefore, this value is 0. Okay. This value is 0. Therefore, I am going to take this is in the left hand side. What we get actually minus 1 by 3 equals 4 by pi square. Okay. 4 by pi square of expand this summation. Once you put n is equal to 1, what happened? Minus 1 by 1 square. Put n is equal to 2, minus 1 whole square is plus 1 by 2 square. Okay. Put n is equal to 3. Whenever you have odd value, we get minus 1 to the power of n. You already know that. How to expand minus 1 to the power of n is minus 1 if n is odd. Okay. Odd. Plus 1 if n is even. N is even. Okay. Now, this is nothing but minus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 4 square minus etc. Now, I have to simplify this. What we get actually minus, yeah, this is we get minus pi square by 12. 4 3s are 12 is nothing but minus 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 2 square minus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 4 square. This is not my required result. My required result is what? 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 5 square. For x is equal to 1 also don't get it. For x is equal to half also don't get it. For x is equal to 1 0 also don't get it. What we are going to do here, anyway you have x is equal to 0. I am going to take, this is nothing but b. X is equal to 1. Now here I want to retain odd. I want to eliminate even terms. Therefore, what I am going to do, subtracting b from a. Subtracting b from a. B from a means this minus this. What happened? This minus means odd terms are plus, even terms are minus. What happened? Even terms are cancelled. Therefore, what we are going to do in the next step, See, this is one of the important problems. Some cases for particular one value of x, you don't get it the required deduced part. In such cases, how to proceed? In such cases, we are choosing two values, either maybe add or subtract for what you get the result from based on the two particular values of x. We are subtracting or adding or subtracting, automatically we get the required result. This is one of the important thing. For one value of x, you don't get it. What we did for x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, you have to find out. Now I am subtracting b from a. That is b minus from a means what? A minus, that is a minus b. Correct now? Now a minus b. What is my a? We have to subtract left hand side and also have to subtract right hand side also. Okay. What is my left hand side for a is pi square by 6, and then minus of minus is what we get, plus pi square by 12. Okay. Now I have to subtract the right hand side. We already, what's a common, yeah, here observe this. I have to subtract this. First a, what is a? 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 4 square. All are positive here. Minus of 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 2 square minus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 4 square, etc. Once you multiplied by minus sign, what happened? This has become odd terms, minus into minus plus 1. Even terms are cancelled. Odd terms are twice. Now we take LCM here. What's LCM? LCM is 12. What we get? 2 pi square means 3 pi square by 12. Here what's a common? See, each odd numbers. 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 1 square is 2, 2 into 1 by 1 square. 1 by 3 square plus a 2. 2 is a common. 2 into 1 by 1 square. Yes, 1 by 3 square. 1 by 5 square, etc. Are you clear? Once you multiply that, odd becomes plus, odd terms, even term becomes minus, therefore even terms are cancelled. Now here, what we get? 3 ones are 3 fours are. Then I have to take 4 into 2 as a cross multiplication. What we get actually required result. This is what we are expecting. We get actually pi square by 8 is nothing but 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 5 square, etc. This is a required result. This is another one required result. What we are narrating, what we are expecting, the second result. Now first result we get for x is equal to 0. Immediately we get first result. How we have to narrate the second result? Again I have to put x is equal to 1. I am subtracting x is equal to 1 from x is equal to 0. After the simplification, automatically we get the second result. This is one of the problem. We construct the half-range Fourier cosine series. After that, we have to deduce that. Before going to wind up the class, again I have to go through glance within a few seconds. Half-range Fourier cosine series means in the half-range series, what's our interval, general interval 0 to L, compare with upper limit of the given interval itself is a value of L, and then you construct the cosine series is nothing but even case formula for a Fourier series, and then you find out A0 and En. While finding A0 and En, I am requesting that don't expand. Using the formula, integration of px plus or minus p to the power of n with respect to x. Whenever having a repeated linear form, repeated linear factor, you go for this, then easy to simplify while applying upper and lower limit. While doing finding a and also, don't apply, don't expand this. You take it as this is u, this is us. We carefully apply and carefully apply upper and lower limit. I told number of times, whenever having a product of sine or cos, don't apply simply the values for each and every term for upper and lower limit. Take separately sine function and cos function, verify the corresponding upper and lower limit. Now here what happens, sine functions are 0. Immediately I write sine terms, what are the terms are involved in sine, I am going to neglect, that is 0. Cosine function not 0, carefully apply the limit for upper and lower limit whenever having a linear factor. Most of the students are doing mistakes for x is 0 is minus 1, but they are writing 0. Please take care for that. Each small thing also very important. After that we get an, verify that whether is true or not for all the values of n is equal to 1 to infinity. Then automatically you have to construct the Fourier series. Half-range Fourier cosine series, because you expand this series is involving only sine functions. After that I want to deduce the first one. They're very simple. You compare that. I want to convert cos imply x is 1, therefore put x is equal to 0. 0 is in the range, therefore put x is 0. Once you put x is equal to 0, automatically we get the required result. Now I want to prove the second result. What I did, again I'm going to put x is equal to 1. Even though x is equal to half is not worked out, already known that. Now after once you get x is equal to 1, you subtract x is equal to 1 expansion from x is equal to 0. After the simplification, we get the second result. This is a way to prove the required deduce part from the half-range construction of half-range Fourier series. Thank you very much for listening my class. I will come back again some more problem I am going to discuss based on half-range Fourier sine and cosine series. Thank you. Bye. See you and take care.